Most relationships don't fail because two people are bad. They fail because two people discover the real person too late. In the beginning, everything looks perfect. You like their smile, their confidence, their intelligence, their humor, and slowly start believing this is the person. But here is the uncomfortable truth. The person you meet in the beginning is only 1% of who they really are. The remaining 99% appears later. And that is where the real test of a relationship begins. Every relationship starts with liking something about a person. It could be looks, intelligence, confidence, humor, kindness, money, status. Sometimes it's just a feeling. You meet someone and think there is something about this person. This stage is exciting because at this point you are seeing the best version of the person. People are careful, they behave well, they speak gently, they hide their flaws. Psychologists call this the impression stage. But this stage is not the relationship. It is only the trailer. After attraction comes something deeper, conversations. You start discussing life, ambitions, belief, values. This is when people say, we connect. You laugh at the same joke. You understand each other's thought. It feels like, finally I found someone who thinks like me. But even here, something important is missing. You still haven't seen the person in difficult situations. And that brings us to the first real test. Sooner or later, the real personality begins to show. This happens in everyday situations. How they behave when they are angry, how they react when things go wrong, how they treat people who cannot benefit them. You begin to notice small things. Maybe they are impatient, maybe they avoid responsibility, maybe they shut down during conflict. These are not small observations, these are character signals. This is the moment when many relationships face their first dilemma. You start asking yourself, can I live with this? At this stage, many people try something dangerous. They try to change the other person. You say things like, you should be more patient, you should behave differently, you need to change this habit. But here is one of the hardest truths about relationship. You cannot change another adult human being. You can influence them, you can guide them, but their core personality is already formed. So this stage becomes a decision point. You either accept the person, compromise their flaws, or walk away. If a relationship survives all this, then comes the real phase, living life together, daily routines, stress, financial decisions, family interactions, personal habits. This is where the illusions disappear. You realize something powerful. The person you thought you knew was only 1% of them. Now you are living with the complete human being, two different individuals, two different personalities, two different ways of thinking. At this point, there are only three possible outcomes: acceptance, compromise, or separation. There is no fourth option. So the big question becomes, can we discover these things earlier? Can we avoid investing years into something that was never going to work? The answer is not perfect. But there are a few questions everyone should ask early in a relationship. Before getting deeply involved with someone, observe a few things carefully. How do they behave when they are angry? How do they treat waiters, drivers, or strangers? What is their attitude towards money? How do they handle disagreement? Can they apologize? Do they respect your boundaries? And most importantly, are you comfortable being your real self around them? Because relationships do not fail due to lack of love. They fail due to lack of compatibility. The biggest mistake people make in a relationship is this. They fall in love with who they think the person is, not with who the person actually is. But real relationship begin only when the illusion ends, when two people see each other completely, flaws, habits, imperfection, and still choose to stay. Because the real test of a relationship is not attraction, it is acceptance.